Morning, good morning. It is Tuesday morning. It is January the 28th. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. It's the big deal, baby. Listen, we've been doing it for a few years. We used to be a little, well, I'd say less crowded. We're like the theme parks. We're like Central Florida. We're like Florida. We've gotten crowded over the years, but we're still just us, and we're just hanging out, and we're enjoying. Oh, are we enjoying this weather? It feels great. Look at the temperatures on the bottom of the screen. Leesburg, you're at 57. Kissimmee, you're at 54. Of course, I'll be bringing those throughout the morning, but also we are on our way up. Today's high temperature, 73 degrees. And if you like that, we'll be heading to 81 by Friday. Oh, baby, do we have some nice weather ahead. The average high temperature, 72. So we're going to be right in the ballpark of average today. We're going to keep going. And I think that the pattern kind of, at the moment at least, pattern favors that. First and foremost, though, let's look outside live, see what's doing. Marion County, it's a little gray, a little foggy-ish, right? Not too bad. Let's check visibility, see what's doing up by you. 3-mile visibility in Ocala. It's a 4-mile visibility in DeLand. And if we check on the cloud ceilings, if I could spell ceiling, check the cloud ceiling, see what's doing. Clouds are at 300 feet in Ocala, so that's a pretty low deck for us, right? 500 feet at Taylor Field over in DeLand, 700 feet in Leesburg, 800 feet. So the clouds are low in these areas with numbers. Anything that doesn't have a number, it's because it's 2,000 feet or greater. I think I said it as 2,000 as the footprint. So again, we look at Ocala, and you've got that low cloud deck. Whereas if I switch over to the tower cam, and we look at, well, let's go to Orlando, for example. It's going to look much. You can see some of the low clouds in the distance there. We're looking from downtown Orlando off to the west. So there's the Citrus Bowl on the left, or whatever it's called. I think it's the Citrus Bowl again, right? Yeah. But you can see the low clouds there. Over to Port Canaveral. Yeah, not too bad there. New Smyrna Beach. Where is that? There it is. See what's doing? Yeah. Oh man, look at those clouds, right? But into Brevard, it looked much, much, much better, right? So it just kind of depends on where you are. Um, Not a bad start to the day, though. Temperatures out the door. Let's check, see what's doing. Oh, baby. Hi, Stella. Um, 53 in Melbourne, 55 degrees in Orlando. Looking very, very nice around town. That warming trend continues into this afternoon. Look how pretty today will be. Once these morning clouds burn off, hi, sweet Stella, we'll be doing just fine. 66 degrees, 11 o'clock, 71 by 1 o'clock. I love this weather. Leslie says, hi, all from Ocala. It's 56 here with light fog. It's pretty. It is pretty. My sweet Stella. As soon as I came to talk, she just wanted to come join us. Hey, this is a nice looking forecast. Notice that breeze out of the west northwest at about 10 or so miles an hour. We can certainly handle a 10-mile-per-hour breeze. Temperatures today, right about where they should be. 72 is the average high. You see it on that bar on the top of the screen. 73 is our high forecast today in Orlando. 75 in Wildwood. Upper 60s to lower 70s there across Flagler to Volusia County. And the next couple of days, we get warmer and warmer and warmer. I love that. Debbie says our morning lows are better than our high temps last week. They are. And, uh, uh, and I, for one, am here for it. As a matter of fact, that 81 on Friday is going to be the warmest high temperature that we have seen in Orlando, at least. I could go city by city, but it's going to take too long. So that 81 on Friday is going to be the warmest temperature since the day after Christmas. So it's going to be the warmest temperature that we have seen in Central Florida in like a month. Record's 86. We're not going to be anywhere near that. But, oh man, really, really great. In the meantime, for today, we're right about where we should be. Average high temperatures, highs. I like it. I'm really here for it. Right? Yeah. So if we look outside, like the theme parks, here's Epcot, for example. Looking great today. Whatever your plans are is looking great. And our 7-day forecast also looking great. Christopher said for me to tell Eric. He says, "Good morning, off to the Science Center today to check out the new exhibit." They were setting it up when I was there last, so excited to hear the review. So this exhibit, I don't remember what it was. They told me when I was there. At the Science Center, the exhibit that they were setting up, I guess, was here like right as COVID hit. And so this is kind of like a do-over because not many people got a chance to see it. So um, that's good, at least, right? That's we all need that. Yeah, love that. Leslie says it's cold in Central Florida. I'm over it. Well, I mean that 7-day forecast looks pretty good to me. Wayne, when will it get cold again? I love the cold. See, isn't that so funny? Like you know, you got some people who are like, I don't want the cold. You got other people that are like, give me the cold. Just want to look. No, Lowe's. No, that's not it. All right, let's do this. And let's come over to Mediagrams. We'll go to GFS, daily high low in Orlando. I mean, there's your high temperatures in Orlando for a minute. The next, yeah, this is through about Valentine's Day. And you notice we got some warm ahead. So, in asking when's it going to get cool, not through about mid-February. Whew. Not gonna lie, I'm done with it. I'm done. I know all of you are gonna have opinions. We are all allowed to have opinions, and I love that everybody's opinions are shared. My opinion is I'm done with the cold, and I would furthermore say that as long as we can all get along, we're good. Julianne says, loving this forecast. I hope we don't have another cold front. I'm ready for the heat. I'm kind of ready for the heat too, but I'm sure we're going to get another one, another couple of fronts. It's at the end of the day, it's still only the end of January. We've still got a couple of months of cool. Yeah. Mickey says, so is winter coming to a close? Well, remember, look what's coming. Groundhog Day right around the corner. Right? What is the LRC cycle time looking like? I'm coming to Florida in 2 weeks, early March. I need this weather. Tim, so we're looking at about I like 43 days. I'm going to really dial into it today and tomorrow. That's kind of my plan. But I think we're looking pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, so this Sunday is Groundhog Day. So we'll know this Sunday what's ahead. And of course, Groundhog Day, for those of you that don't know, Groundhog Day event Groundhog. I've got so many. Okay, so I need to uncheck mark this because that's from last year. Hold on. Let me remove the check mark. Hold on. Green check mark, uncheck. When is it? When's Groundhog Day? Is it Sunday? I think it's Sunday. Hold on. Come on, computer. Computer. My people are anxiously awaiting for you to visit Gobbler's Knob. I would love to go one of these years. All right, so it's Sunday. So I need to change the graphic. Sunday. Save. All right. That way, now we can share. I love it. There's a fly. Like literally, he's like, what's going on with that fly? Anyway, so the weather folklore goes if he sees his shadow, there are 6 more weeks of winter, which to me, this seems so like counterintuitive. I feel like it's backward. But anyway, 6 more weeks of winter. If he does not see his shadow, winter's over early. Wouldn't it be if the sun is, I don't know how that works. So anyway, is that groundhog clip art? We made it. So all of the clip art looking stuff, we actually made it. We didn't like go buy that clip art. We made the iconography. But anyway, yeah. It works better if you speak into the mouse, Scotty. You're right. Computer. Thank you for getting the reference. Mildred says the groundhog doesn't count here in Florida. I don't want to say. I feel like this winter the groundhog lore would work in Florida. I feel like this year in particular it works. Did you watch the movie Groundhog? I still have not watched the movie Groundhog Day. No. Nope. We are backward in Pennsylvania. I get it. Kelly being from Pennsylvania. So, yeah. We've traveled millions of miles, hundreds of miles. So, anyway, we'll see what's ahead. Leslie says Sanford is doing a touch truck on Saturday morning. My 4-year-old loves it. Looks like the weather should be good for it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the weather's looking good. When does Wesh get the new graphics package? Cindy's asking. I'm making tweaks to it. So we'll get there. I'm making tweaks to it. Things like banner colors, things like that. Yeah. You have to watch the movie by Sunday. Get it together, son. Ooh, Taylor with the verbal abuse today. If the groundhog sees his shadow, he's scared and goes back into hibernation. Is that what it is, Melissa? See, that makes sense. That makes sense. Barb, I was just thinking how the groundhog seems backward. But it makes sense if the groundhog sees his shadow and he's scared to go back into hibernation. Now that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. All right. So we've got that. But listen, I mean, even with this little bit of a warming trend, and I'm sure that this number will change, but thus far we've been running seventh, eighth coldest January ever. On record, at least. So I could, for one, use a nice warming trend. And that's what we have. And not just through the next 7 days, but as we were discussing earlier when we took a long range look, we took a long range look already, y'all. And the temperatures are looking warm through about Valentine's Day. Hint, hint, friends. I'm looking at you in the back, the one that forgot. Yeah. We accept the sun for being part because the big ball of fire warms us up. What? Yeah. So is carbon fiber trying to guilt me? You promised, Eric. Are you trying to guilt me? We looked long range. We'll take some more look long range, but I don't do well with guilt. Hate to say it, but like at 40 years old, guilt and I just don't go well together. Groundhog Day and Happy Death Day are two of my favorite movies. I've never heard of Happy Death Day. Mickey, can we see the BSR? Well, look at the BSR, yes. But don't guilt me, y'all. I've hit the age of my life where that is like, I'll go out of my way not to do that. Happy Death, that's a movie? I've heard of Groundhog Day. Happy Death Day. I don't know that I would want to see that movie. Okay, so here's an interesting one. So what does the forecast look like for Sunday? Based on the idea that Groundhog Day is coming. Give it a second. Okay, there's your forecast for Sunday. Snow? Looks like snow in Pennsylvania. So based on that forecast, I would assume, based on that forecast, if we have a snowstorm moving into Pennsylvania, based on that, there should be clouds. One would say there should be clouds on Sunday. And based on that, if there are clouds, folklore would dictate winter should be over early, right? Wouldn't that make sense? right? The snow is north of me and I'm good with it. Yes. But also, if the snow is snowing in Pennsylvania on Sunday, then he doesn't see his shadow because it's cloudy and it's crummy. And based on that, winter's over early. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to guess winter's over early. Kelly says that makes Gobbler's Knob even more fun. And since it's on Sunday, the people will be showing up even more to party. This could be entertaining Sunday morning TV. Take it from the expert that's been there many times. There you go. Debbie says yes, he can still see his shadow even in the snow. If the sun is shining, but if the snow is falling, you can't see your shadow if the snow if it's a gross cloudy day unless it's fixed. We'll see how this works. Mickey says, I have some family in Pennsylvania, and they're saying that they've had snow almost every day since Thanksgiving. They would love an early end to winter this year. There's been a. If the snow is snowing, what else would it do? Cindy, don't make me come over there, okay? I'll show you what else the snow can do. I don't even know what that means. Florida needs a Groundhog Day. Isn't there like Robbie the alligator that forecasts things? I don't know. I feel like people have all gotten on board with that whole thing. All right. Good times. Mm-mm. Frame cutout. Where are you? So I gotta sort you by name. It's called the BSR cutout. Download. When are you gonna show up? BSR cutout. The file went to. All right, left box, putting on the BSR, but where's the cutout? Unload image when not showing. There you go. Okay. All right, so there's that. Let's take a long range look. So we know that the models are basically keeping us. Now, I didn't look at rain, so maybe before we even do this, let's just look at the model data. First off, there's the model data for temperatures showing a nice warm setup right through about Valentine's Day. In terms of storm systems, couple showers maybe this weekend. Little storm system through like the 11th, 12th. It looks like it's a pretty quiet setup, honestly. All right, now let's move over to the BSR. This is a long range teleconnection that we use. It's not exact, but it kind of gives us an idea to look ahead, right? It's Nikki, it's not the R on the Groundhog Day graphic is not cut off of the graphic. It's cut off when I put it in this box. But if I were to take it full, it shows up. So just for reference to that. All right. So, so this is gonna be a west wind. So that's gonna be a nice warm wind. That's the hold on. Stand by. So this is like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of February. February 3rd, 4th, 5th. And we've for a while been tracking this little storm system coming in on the Gulf Coast. So the 3rd, 4th, 5th of February looks like there's wanting to be a little storm system coming on through. There's a pretty good like severe weather setup perhaps. 5th, 6th, 7th across the deep south. And that looks like it'll want to bring a little bit of a cooler hit, but not significant. There's a decent area of low pressure out in the Gulf. So that to me looks like an interesting southeastern, including Florida, severe weather event there. Like 9th, 10th, 11th. I know we've been talking about these days. They're sticking out to my memory. 9th, 10th, and 11th. Opportunity for some storms there for us. And then it looks like after the 11th, like that's 11th, 12th, 13th. So it looked like we were going to stay mild through about the 11th, 12th, 13th. But that looks like we're going to go a little cooler here. And then, yeah, and then high pressure builds in. It's beautiful. That's the 14th, 15th, 16th. So for now, it looks like Valentine's Day is looking really, really nice. So gotta love that. And then if we wanted to go much longer range, let's do that. There's a little storm system there. 19, 20, 21 of February. Couple little fronts. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like anything's too crazy. But mid to second half of February looks a little busier. We'll say that. Does that work? Does that work? Debbie says, it's already snowed in Florida, so we aren't really that scared of cold weather. I don't know. I stood out in that snow a long time. I'm pretty scared of that winter weather. That's just me. Carbon Fiber says, our severe weather season might start soon, it seems. Yeah, it might. It might. We'll have to look and see how that plays out, right? Yeah. At least for now, our 7-day forecast is looking pretty great. You know? Mike says, the wife and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Our anniversary is February 18th. It'll be 24 years. Mazel tov. Love that. Really. If it doesn't, can you change it? Look, I can only change what I can change. I can change a graphic. That's about all I got for you. Hey, Karen, good morning to you. That's about all I got. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. Questions, comments, concerns. Questions, comments, concerns? So we are beyond the cold now. Well, at least for the next week we are. And I'll take it week by, listen, I'll take it day. We're taking it day by day, right? Yeah. No, I mean, it looks like mid-February, the models are kind of the BSR is hinting at some cooler. The models haven't snuck that in yet, but the BSR is kind of showing it there. So, and then kind of mid to late February, it looks like we might be getting a little chillier. Kelly, yeah, question. When are you watching Groundhog's Day? I mean, I've avoided it for a minute. I guess I probably need to. Yeah. That also means Sunday is the anniversary of the terrible Groundhog Day tornadoes. That's correct. That's a good point. What was that? 06? Wow. 19 years. I didn't think that it was that long. I remember it like it was yesterday. For those of you that are unfamiliar, there was was it 06? Oh, it was 07. 07, 07, 07. Okay, I remember I had just started at WPBF not long before because the Groundhog Day tornadoes were the first time that I broadcast in Central Florida in my career. So, is it hard for meteorologists to live in the moment? Always looking forward to what's to come. That's funny. So the Groundhog Day tornadoes, yeah. So February 2nd, that anniversary is coming up. 18 years. Holy cannoli. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, and we'll talk more about this, right? But for those of you that are unfamiliar, it's one of the worst tornado outbreaks in Central Florida history. Started at 3:08 a.m. There was an EF3 tornado that touched down in Sumter County, crossed over into Lake County, carried winds of 155 to 160 miles an hour. And if memory serves, this was the first tornado outbreak to use the enhanced Fujita scale. I remember being on the air that night with Wendy Chioji, Jim Payne. The governor was where I was. I wasn't in this location. I was in Volusia County. I was in the site of this Paisley tornado that crossed over. Lake Mac is where I was that day. That same supercell then moved into Lake County, Paisley, Forest Hills area, Lake Mac area, and touched down as an EF3 tornado with winds of 160 to 165 miles an hour. Crossed to land and then moved over to New Smyrna Beach area, Edgewater, Ponce Inlet as an EF1. So the same supercell touched down and created many tornadoes. It was one of the worst tornado outbreaks in Central Florida history. And I'm trying to find a stat graphic on it. Largest tornado outbreaks, Central Florida. So there. So Central Florida's 1998 tornado outbreak took 42 lives. The Groundhog Day tornado outbreak of 2007 took 21 lives. Wow, I remember Tropical Storm Gordon in 94. Why is that even on this list? I need to go and figure this out. I didn't make this graphic, but I feel like one tornado and one death from 94 does not make this not to negate it, but like I don't feel like that makes this list. But at any rate, yeah, the 1990 and then, after the after the after the Groundhog Day tornado outbreak was that 90 it will be the 98 tornado outbreak with F2s and F3s. There were 7 tornadoes. No F4s carbon fiber in 98. They were all F3s, F2s, and F1s. Yeah. So anyway, these anniversaries are coming up. Thankfully, not recording any threats for tornadoes in our 7-day forecast, though. I think that's important to note. Okay? Yeah. I mean, F3s are obviously still devastating. Any tornado can be devastating. It hits the wrong building at the wrong time, the wrong spot. I was very proud of the work I did on the 98 tornadoes last year. I'm these anniversaries for me are always very, very special anniversaries. And I know that, I don't know that it's downloaded, but I know I've got DVDs of the Groundhog Day coverage. Documents. Where is this? Documents. Studio mode. Let me add media source. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. I know I've got these files. Documents. It's like a DVD backup folder. Old DVD archive. Yeah, I sure do. Look at all these Tony Manolfi files. Yep. I don't know what I'm downloading something. I have no idea what I'm downloading, but I'm downloading something from that.